There's a moment you know well. The hours grow long, the excitement fades, and every step you take feels heavier than the last. Your mind starts whispering, soft but persistent, that maybe this is enough, that maybe this is where the story ends. You feel it in your bones, the weight of exhaustion, the sting of setbacks, the ache of dreams deferred. The promise you once made to yourself begins to sound like a joke. It's not the grand, dramatic surrender we imagine. No, it's quieter, subtler. It's comfort making a sly appeal, asking you not to quit forever, but just to wait, just to pause, just to delay. And so you do. You delay long enough for postponement to become your identity. This is the cruelest trick comfort plays on us. It's gentle insistence that standing still is safer than moving forward, that waiting is wiser than risking, that today's pain can be softened with tomorrow's illusion of ease. But here's the truth that no one warns you about. Comfort is never your friend when it masks itself as mercy. It's a thief in daylight, stealing your momentum while you convince yourself you're just resting. And every time you give in to that whisper, every time you allow delay to define you, you lose a piece of what could have been, not because you didn't have the strength, not because the world was too harsh, but because you chose to let comfort win a silent victory over your resolve. You have felt this, haven't you? The slow erosion of purpose as the clock ticks, the familiar ache beneath your ribs that once burned with ambition, but now just aches with regret. You watch others move, sprint ahead, leap beyond the barriers, and you ask yourself why you stay rooted in the same spot, why the same fire that once ignited you now barely flickers. It's not because you lack courage. It's because the comfort of delay has a language all its own. It speaks in half-promises, in tomorrow's plans, in not yet and maybe soon. And it's seductive. You tell yourself that the time isn't right, that you need more preparation, more resources, more confidence. You tell yourself you're being smart, patient, careful. But really, you're listening to comfort's siren song, and every note pulls you further from your true self. But what if you could see this differently? What if the struggle, the pain, the resistance you feel right now isn't a sign that you should stop, but a signal that you're on the edge of something real? Every story worth telling is carved from moments like this, when the easy path tempts you, but you choose instead to lean into discomfort, to stare down uncertainty, to push past the voice that says wait. The struggle is not the enemy. It's the furnace where strength is forged, where character is revealed, where dreams are baptized in fire. Think about the times you've seen someone rise, not because the journey was easy, but because they refused to settle. They didn't quit when comfort whispered for them to pause. They didn't allow delay to disguise itself as wisdom. They chose action, immediate, imperfect, relentless action. They knew that the only way to defeat postponement was to show up anyway, to take the first step, even when the path was unclear, the fuel was low, and the outcome was uncertain. They understood something you must remember now. Comfort doesn't want you to advance because it fears change. It fears what happens when you break through the chains of delay and become fully alive. And here's the thing. When you finally reject delay, you reclaim your narrative. When you stop letting comfort define your identity, you discover a version of yourself that was waiting beneath the surface all along. This version is fierce. It is resilient. It is hungry for progress, even if progress feels small or imperfect. It is the part of you that remembers why you started in the first place, that sees beyond today's exhaustion to the promise of what's possible. It's not about reckless leaps into the unknown. It's about a deliberate refusal to surrender, not to the world, not to failure, but to your own fears and excuses. It's about recognizing that every day you delay, you give power away. You hand over your future piece by piece to a force that wants you to stay comfortable, not fulfilled. So stand up now and ask yourself, how much longer will I let comfort rewrite my story? How many more seasons will I wear the disguise of not yet before I admit that not yet has become never? You are not made to live in the margins of your life, watching from the sidelines as others claim the victories you dreamed for yourself. You were made to be bold, to take risks, to face discomfort head-on, because on the other side of that discomfort lives the life you want. Let the struggle remind you of your strength, not your limits. Let the pain sharpen your resolve, not dull your will. Let the weight of postponement ignite a fire so fierce inside you that waiting becomes impossible. You owe it to yourself to break free from the cycle of delay. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, because they never will be. Right now, This moment is your battleground. This breath is your call to action. Don't wait for comfort's permission to keep going. Don't let the subtle voice of delay steal your dreams one quiet day at a time. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to move forward despite discomfort, despite fear, despite uncertainty. So take that step, make that call, write that page, start that project, run that mile, whatever it is, do it now. Because every moment you postpone, you lose a piece of who you were meant to become. You are not defined by the delays you've allowed in the past. You are defined by the courage you summon today. You are not a prisoner of comfort's gentle lies. You are a warrior of action, a builder of futures, a relentless seeker of growth. This is your life. This is your moment. Don't let it slip through your fingers wrapped in the soft blanket of someday. Get uncomfortable. Get moving. Get real. The world isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to be brave. So rise up, step forward, make your move, and never ever let delay become your identity. Breathe. Reset your posture. Decide again. Comfort rarely tells you to quit forever. It simply asks you to delay long enough for postponement to become your identity. Use a classic motivational arc. Start with the struggle, reframe the pain, build conviction, then close with decisive action. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a clear decision. Small actions compound into identity. Keep the standard. Keep the promise. If you feel resistance, that's your cue to begin. Comfort rarely tells you to quit forever. It simply asks you to delay long enough for postponement to become your identity. Focus on the next right step. Then repeat. Your future self is built by what you do today. No drama, no debate, just action. Breathe. Reset your posture. Decide again. Comfort rarely tells you to quit forever. It simply asks you to delay long enough for postponement to become your identity. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a clear decision. Small actions compound into identity. Keep the standard, keep the promise. If you feel resistance, that's your cue to begin. Comfort rarely tells you to quit forever. It simply asks you to delay long enough for postponement to become your identity. Use a classic motivational arc. Start with the struggle, reframe the pain, build conviction, then close with decisive action. Keep the standard, keep the promise. If you feel resistance, that's your cue to begin. Comfort rarely tells you to quit forever. It simply asks you to delay long enough for postponement to become your identity.